I and my father, we both retired at the same time. He is 70 and we forced him to retire this year. I'm 44. I retired by my choice. 3 lakh went into mutual funds, SIP and all. Today, 5.2 CR is in mutual funds.
On picking mutual funds, right? How do you decide? There are n number of mutual funds out there. What is your framework?
Not more than 10 or 15 lakh in one mutual fund. And I drew a salary of 10 lakh rupees per month in 2017. I have got a silver certificate from income tax department for 3 straight years, paying large number of taxes and all because they have time on their side. If I was 25 today and if I had this knowledge, my corpus would have been 2.5 times what I have today. If I have 1 crore and if I have 5 crore, no, there is a very big difference which people don't understand. I think preservation of capital is utmost important, not the returns.
Welcome to Power Pioneers. Thank you for taking out the time. From teaching to now being financially free, I think that's one of the most interesting stories I've heard. So I think let's get started right away. Your background, how you get entered into teaching and then eventually into investing.
Thank you, Nauda, for giving me this opportunity. My background is I am from Vadodara, Gujarat, and I have done my MSc way back in 2003. And I have been a teacher for 20 years. My family background is I live with my parents. Today, what I am over here is because they are self independent. Otherwise, it would have taken another 2-3 more years if I would also have to be looking after them. My wife is a homemaker and I have a 8-year-old girl. So in 2003, I did my MSc and then I started with a paper checking with 2.5 thousand rupees per month initially. In 2004, I joined one institute where I would be teaching, doing supervision, paper checking with a 4,000 per month. In 2005, I used to work in that particular institute also. Along with that, I had my own small batch of students of 7 students. They used to pay me 4,000 for the whole year. So it was 28 to 30,000 coming from there and the 4,000 was the income coming from the salary. 2005, that 7 students went to 20 students and 2006 it became 107 students.
So you were teaching chemistry to
Yes. 11th
11th
and 12th. By 2008-9, I was earning around 9 to 10 lakhs per year. And then in 2011, a new concept came in Gujarat of collaboration of schools and private institutes and all.
Okay.
So we group of teachers joined that. In a span of 2 to 3 years, gradually we shifted our whole class students to the collaboration institute students, to the school students, and that's how. And that's how at one point of time, 2015 to almost 2019, every year there were around 600 students whom I was teaching, and I drew a salary of 10 lakh rupees per month in 2017. That was my highest paycheck. I have got a silver certificate from income tax department for 3 straight years from 2016 to 2019, paying large number of taxes and all. But I enjoyed that. See, when I started, no, in 2006, I used to work for 12 hours a day. Same topic to be taught 4 times a day, same numerical to be done 4 times a day. I don't know whether the students could get it or not, but I had it too much in my mind. Okay. And by 2008-9, somewhere I had it in my mind that I cannot prolong for this particular thing till the age of 60. I love teaching. I love it today also. But you have certain limitations. Your body, your mind have certain limitations. Okay. 20 years journey from 2004 to 2024. This year only I have stopped teaching, and that is because I had planned for it. It's not that circumstances were such that I would have to be fired, but I like the fire concept and so I applied for the same. In fact, I like to share one important aspect. I and my father, we both retired at the same time.
Oh,
He is 70 and we forced him to retire this year. I'm 44. I retired by my choice. So that's life.
So I've always seen, I think teachers don't talk much about money. So how did you get your exposure into the idea of investing at the very first place?
In 2006-7, I had zero idea about shares, stocks, mutual funds, investing, nothing. My father even today does not have a demat account. In 2009, one of our family friend had taken a distributorship of one of the ELSS scheme.
Okay.
So it was you have to invest 25,000 for 3 years, and after 3 years it was the lock-in period. I was not knowing what is the ELSS at that point of time, but because of the relation, I said fine. 2009, 2010, 2011, I invested 25,000 each, so that was 75,000. And as soon as the lock-in period got over, I just said I want money, I want to withdraw it back. What I got back was 72,000.
Oh.
Because in 2009 to 2011 the market had remained stagnant. So that first experience was such a bad one that I felt that yes, my dad is right. No stocks, no mutual funds, they are not our cup of tea. Come 2015, I had to visit Mumbai and I was all alone. So while coming back on the platform, I was just searching for any magazine or book and I come across a magazine called as Wealth Insight and Mutual Fund Insight. Then I took every month the particular magazine from Vadodara local store. For 6 months I took them, and in that 6 issues I got to know that I was wrong for picking out money at the wrong time from the mutual funds. So in 2015 I started again with the mutual funds. Started with a 20k SIP per month. Okay. And by 2017 it was 2.8 lakhs per month SIP.
Oh wow.
If I was investing 2.8 lakh, in that also 1.4 lakh was in debt funds.
Okay.
Because safety, conservation of my or preservation of my capital has always been my priority right from the word go.
So you said at the time when you were making 10 lakhs a month, right? You were still doing 2.5, 3 lakhs of SIP. How did you decide ki okay, itna SIP karna hai, and like what is your framework there?
See, around when I had 10 lakh rupees per month salary, 30% will go to the government. In the tax, around 50,000 was my household expenditure. 3 lakh went into this mutual funds, SIP and all. Okay. And I was also planning to buy a next door property. So for that I started saving from 2013 itself. In 2016 I got that property. I demolished my existing house and the next door house right from the ground and had a new one. And from 2021 I am now living in that one. So that's how I had this percentage, you can say 50% in mutual funds and 50% of savings were for buying that particular property. That went on for another 1.5 year or so. I also have a gold fund also in my mutual fund, because if you are going for a long term, no, gold is one such asset which is never going to depreciate. I don't think it will ever depreciate. So
you said like at the time when you were doing a 2.8 lakh SIP versus today, how was your allocation in that? Half of them you said were in debt funds.
Yes.
Well, how was the whole allocation? How has it changed?
Initially, when I started way back in 2015, no, once again, it was 30 to 40% in equity and 60% in debt. Because I was still worried that will it work or not for me after the experience of 2009 to 2011. But I had gained knowledge myself, and the books told me that no, this is one of the best assets for investment. So I wanted to try it out, but slowly and gradually. So I started with say 40% allocation in equity, 60% in debt. 6 months I reviewed, changed it to 55% in equity, 45% in debt. Okay. And after 1.5 year, it was like around 70% in equity and 30% in debt.
Okay.
But I had diversification to a great extent. Small caps, mid caps, multi caps, flexi caps, large caps, you name it, I have it.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
I had around 16 or 17 different schemes. What I feel is when you have a large amount to be invested, no, protection of capital is the prime necessity. I am happy with a 10%, 11% returns also. But tomorrow, if something goes wrong, I should not be losing my capital. That is always my first priority.
Right. On picking mutual funds, right? How do you decide? There are n number of mutual funds out there. What is your framework?
Initially, I used to pick up with only two criteria when I started in 2015-16. There are 2 to 3 websites who give the ratings. Minimum 4-star or 5-star rating was the first criteria. Past performance, not of 6 months or 1 year. I always go for longer time horizon. 3 years, 5 years, past performance, a consistency is there, then I would have chosen that particular fund. Then in 2021, I did one workshop for mutual funds and I came to know about R square, Sortino ratio, then alpha, and many other things. So now I also include these three things. R square is if its value higher the greater. So if it is above 0.8, it's good. If 0.9, excellent. Then same way Sortino ratio is there. Over there it shows you the risk reversion mean. How much riskier the asset it is with the volatility of the index.
Understood.
The higher the better, they say. And third one is alpha. Alpha is when your index is not moving, but still your fund is giving you good returns. That is what they mean by alpha over here in India. Higher the alpha, it is better.
Got it.
Honestly speaking, see, initially for any investor who is just starting his journey, no, he or she can look at just two parameters, a 4-star or a 5-star rating and past performance of last 3 and 5 years. Don't look at last 2 years. This 2022, 2023 and 2024
Been a
have
bull run,
fared in such a
yeah.
way that any damn mutual fund is going to look like a gold.
Yeah,
But
that's
everything
true.
is not gold.
So outside of this equity debt portfolio that you mentioned, is that your entire portfolio? Or you have investments in other asset classes as well, like real estate or?
If I give the numbers, today 5.2 CR is in mutual funds.
Okay.
1.2 CR is in commercial real estate, which is giving me fixed monthly rental income. Almost 1 CR in FDs. I still love them. And 15 lakh in PPF, 5 to 7 lakh of shares. Only 5 to 7 lakh. Direct investing, I have very less. And another 15-20 lakhs are in my bank account because I am going for some new ventures.
Okay.
This is my total portfolio at this point of time. In that 5.2 CR of mutual funds, 1.25 CR is liquid funds once again.
Okay.
Apart from that, option trading, I am getting a leverage. Option trading, I don't have to put a single money. All my mutual funds I have in my demat account and I have them on a leverage. Means I get a leverage from my
like a collateral.
yes, they all are collateral things.
Okay.
For that, there is a rule. If you want to go for overnight option position, no, you need to have 50% in liquid funds and 50% your equity funds. That is a rule of
Okay.
SEBI. So I have that 25% in liquid funds. Another 25 to 30% is in balance advantage fund. Now I
Okay.
don't have any of the debt funds. The ones that I had in 2016, gradually I have came out of them.
Okay.
And now I have balance advantage funds, because in balance advantage funds, the fund manager switches the proportion of equity and debt as per the market situation. So that is once again favorable. And on any given day, if you look at the past record and if you are holding for a longer period of time, the balance advantage funds will give you minimum 9 to 10 or 11% of returns. I am happy with it. So around 25 to 30% in balance advantage fund, another 25% in pure liquid funds, and the remaining 45% is a pure equity now.
Okay.
And in that pure equity also, I have got a few small cap, 1 or 2 thematic funds also, rural consumption story. Because still there is a huge population of India that is in the towns and the smaller villages. The development is going to happen of them now, no? So I have some thematic funds on that, large cap funds, multi cap funds. That's how distributed. And as I told you before, more than 30, 35 mutual funds. So not more than 10 or 15 lakh in one mutual fund. That is my limit.
Okay.
So my risk for a particular asset, particular mutual fund is only limited to that part. In these 35 schemes, average out return what I get, I'm happy with it.
Yeah.
It might not be beating anything in the world. It is beating the inflation or not, that also I am not saying. Because see, many people talk your investment should beat your your inflation rate and all. If I have 1 crore and if I have 5 crore, no, there is a very big difference which people don't understand. If I have 1 crore at a 7% rate of interest, I am going to get 7 lakh rupees. If I have 5 crore and I have invested all 5 crores in FD, I am going to get 35 lakh rupees. Right. If my yearly expenditure is 12 lakh rupees, if I am getting 35 lakh rupees, after paying taxes also, if I am in a 30% bracket, I am going to get 25 lakh rupees. My yearly expenditure is 12 lakh rupees, so still I am getting 12 lakh more.
Yeah.
There I don't need to look at the inflation. But if someone is having 1 crore rupee, he is getting only 7%, he has to pay a tax in it. He needs to look at the inflation. So if you have a smaller corpus, then the rate of returns are quite important. Even a 0.5% or 1% is quite important. If you have larger corpus, no, I think preservation of capital is utmost important, not the returns. Also, your age is very important. Someone who is at the age of 25, someone who is at the age of 45, and someone who is at the age of 65, if they all three have a same amount of money to invest, they all cannot park their money in the same investment venture. Someone who is at 25 can go for a 100% mutual fund, total equity, because even though it's risky, but he is working, he has the age on his side. Someone who is 65, he cannot put more than 30 or 35% in equity. He should have major part in debt. That's an important aspect.
No, fair. I think that's very important to
Right.
know, are you growing your wealth or are you
Yes,
preserving your
yes,
wealth?
yes, yes, yes.
No, fair. And on real estate, I think real estate is always like this debatable
Right.
asset class in India. How did you get into real estate?
Mine is a commercial real estate, and I have invested in 5 different properties through different portals.
It's
And
fractional
fractional, yes,
ownership.
fractional
Okay.
ownership. It's a fractional ownership.
Okay.
And I have 3 of them in Mumbai, one in Bangalore, one in Pune.
Okay.
And they give me a 9% return rental
Okay.
income, and around 6% appreciation on the property per year is what they generally target. So after 5 or 6 years, when they sell it out now, on an average 15% return per year we can have with a combination of rent plus whatever appreciation of the
That's
asset takes
good.
place.
That's not bad. I
So
mean,
that's,
compared
yes,
to,
yes,
I
yes.
think residential
No, it's
residential
commercial.
yield is very
No,
low.
residential
Is
4
very
or
low.
5%.
Yeah.
Maximum you get 4 or 5%.
Right.
These all are commercial ones. The only problem over here is your money gets stuck up. It's not having that much liquidity. So you can, otherwise, obviously, if it's like a mutual fund, no, I'll just take out everything from a mutual fund and invest in all these properties.
Yeah.
Why to have the volatility in our mind?
No, fair.
Right.
And for our users, could you explain what fractional real estate ownership is?
It is like, say, there is a 40 crore property in Mumbai, which is already on a lease to any MNC. So, this particular websites or portals, it's a SEBI register, first thing. So, safety is there. They collect small amounts from different investors like us.
Okay.
And there is a rule that they have to have minimum 200 investor in that property.
Okay.
The minimum investment ticket over there has been 25 lakh, but in last few months it has been brought down to 10 lakh by the SEBI. And even if something happens to that particular company, you have got the debentures on your name.
Okay.
Of the ownership. Also, it has got insurance for earthquake, any other natural calamity.
Okay.
I have seen that having your own property and then giving it on a rent and doing all that stuff is a big headache. Compared to that, you have to give the fees over here, but that is deducted after that 9%. So we don't have to worry about that. You get a regular rental income. So every month income, every month household expenditure and all, if you want, then this is one of the good asset class to invest if you are not in need of money in urgency.
Yeah, no, that sounds a good, as I said, right, a good source of passive income. So, Maulik, let's talk about, after you became financially free, how is your passive income like? What do you currently do, and how is it that taken care of?
I wanted to be out of this regular routine, but it's not that you can be totally free at the age of 44. Since 2016, I have been into option trading. I'm fascinated by option trading, and I have done plenty of workshops and seminars also for the same. At that time, it was a part-time thing. Whenever I got the time, now it's like my full-time thing. But not a compulsion. And second thing, I have been a consistently profitable in option trading. I have my own algo trading desk for option trading. So life has been quite good. Whatever my monthly expenditure is at this point of time, even if I don't do a single option trade for the whole month, I have 2x fixed income from rental income and the FDs and all.
So that's nice. I mean, you're not basically withdrawing from your corpus. You're
No,
just
no,
that's
yes.
so that will compound over the next.
I
10,
need to, I
20
need
years.
to, I need to. I have a very young daughter, so looking at her future expenditures for education and marriage and all, I need to. But I have them sorted out in my mind and implemented the plan. Rest all lies in the hands of the Almighty.
No, that's very nice. That's the life everyone would want to live at some point, right?
Yes.
Now moving on to the other side of finances, which is loans and insurance. Did you have any loans, and how did you manage that, if any?
I am against loan, honestly speaking. Even though I am wrong, I can admit that because it gives you lots of benefits in income tax and all. But I am someone who want a peaceful sleep. I have been living in my house, which is being bought by my parents, so I never had to have any loan for a house. So zero loans as of now. For insurance, yes, I had my life insurances right from the word go I started earning. But now I hardly have any life insurances. I do have health insurances, medical claims and all, but no life insurances and all. Honestly speaking, there is a very big difference between investment and insurance. And still many people in our country are not having the knowledge or the difference what lies between it. To be honest, the Anands and the Samruddhis and the Utsavs are for the particular company and its mutual fund or the insurance distributor, not for the consumer.
Right.
It gives you mere 5.5% or 6% returns. In 2005, that is, I had one insurance. You have to pay every year 25,000 and you will be getting 50,000 from 2020 for rest of your life. That sounds exciting. I did start because investing 25,000 for 15 years, okay, it's good, fine. And getting 50,000 for rest of your life, oh, that's interesting. Today, if someone comes to you, invest 70,000 per year for next 15 years, and from 16th year, you will get 1 lakh rupees back for another 30 years. It looks quite interesting. But today, what is the value of 1 lakh?
Yeah.
Won't be the value of 1 lakh after 20 years. It will be almost one third if you calculate the inflation part. So never mix investment and insurance. That is the advice that I'll give to the youngsters. Never mix it. Go for a term plan. If you want to go for insurance, no, term plans are the best.
Just in terms of expenses, right? You said your expenses have not increased and fairly remained constant. But still, kabhi to temptation hua hoga. Like, what are like the top three sort of expenses you did, purchases you made?
Today I have got an Alcazar. I can easily buy an BMW. But I have got Alcazar. That too after so much force from my parents and wife and all that we should have this car. We had a Honda City way back in 2009. But I always believe car is for saving you from sunlight, from the rains and from the cold. If a 5 lakh car can do that thing, why to spend 15 lakh? That is my lifestyle, right? My monthly expenditure for my own, I play badminton regularly, so 1000 rupees fees is for that, 1000 rupees petrol for going over there and coming back. And apart from that, my own expenditure, if we consider, no, it's 82 rupees per month. 50 rupees Tell Me Why magazine monthly is coming. And 8 rupees every week there is one magazine called as Times Now Wealth. It is giving me a lot of knowledge. Total comes out to be 82 rupees. Nothing else in my life. Just simple living and enjoy the life. God has given us so much, just enjoy it.
So that's great. I think it gives so much perspective, right? So, Maulik, what is the difference between returns and wealth creation? I think two different phases of life.
Very good question. Very few people ask this. When we talk of returns, no, I invest in any share and I have invested at say 500 rupees. It goes to 750 rupees. Oh, it has become 50%. I have got 50% appreciation. Let me just sell it. That way you will never be creating wealth. You will be getting good returns, but you will never be creating wealth. If you want to create wealth, a huge corpus, unimaginable corpus, no, invest for a longer period of time, 10 years, 15 years, 20 years, not in companies, even in mutual funds also. Look at some of the mutual fund that have originated way back in 1996. Today, if you look at its return, and if someone has been doing 1,000 rupee SIP for 10 years, that is till 2006, and today if you go to the mutual fund calculator and look at its return, amount will be huge one. I'll just give you an example. There is a share called as SJVN, Satluj Jal Vidyut Nigam. It's a government company. It has been in a price range of 1920 rupees to 26 rupees since 2011 till 2023, mid 2023. In my wife's account, I had 1,000 shares way back in 2011 and it gave me a dividend of around 90 paise every year, so I was fine that in 20 years my amount is going to come back. I had invested only 20,000, so it was not a big deal. In last 1 year, that share from a price of 20 rupees has gone to 145 rupees.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so this is my personal experience of wealth creation. I have one of my relative, he is 75 years of age today. He has invested in a share called as Tata Elxsi way back in 2003-4. I just had a talk with him. He said that he has got 10,000 shares. The purchase price is 8 rupees standing today. Last year dividend was 60 rupees per share and the share price yesterday I saw was 7,000 rupees per one share. 8 rupees share, 10,000 quantity, 80,000 invested becomes 7 crore in 20 years. Show me one another asset class which multiplies to this fold.
I think let's end on the note on what advice would you give to, a 30-year-old, 25-year-old who is on this journey and planning his or her finances?
See, there are various aspects when we go for planning a financial aspect. Age is one of the factor. Second part is the dependence upon you. Third part is how much risk you can take. These all aspects are quite different as we go from one person to another. What applies to you might not apply to someone else, right? But if you have a smallest of possibility, start investing. Today the world is going on credit cards. Have a credit card, nothing bad in it. You can earn from it. I am earning from it. But if you can pay the bills timely,
Correct.
if not, you are going to pay 16 to 80% to the banks. That is a horrible thing. So don't make such a mistake. If you have a salary of 30,000, think you have 25,000 salary and try to invest 5,000 on the very first day that you get the salary. Gain knowledge. Put some amount to gain knowledge. It is also a kind of investment. If you don't want to take risk, go for the index funds. Index is never going to become zero. So are your funds.
No, fair. I think thank you so much, Maulik, for sharing all of your
My
learning.
pleasure, my pleasure, my pleasure.
It's been great. I think your journey from teaching to getting into finances, investments, I think it's great. And if anyone wants to reach out, please let us know and we'll connect you to
Sure.
Maulik.
Thank you.